It's right there. Where did it
What you want? Come on. Go get my phone. Yeah.
Hey, 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 everybody. How are you guys doing? I'm so glad that we are here with another great episode for the Love Experience Show. And if you are here and you are hearing my voice, go ahead and share, like, subscribe, throw a watch party. Go ahead and do all of that for me so we can get some more people in on the fun. And I'm really excited that you guys are here with me today. I'm sorry I got a little throat lozenge in my mouth because maybe a couple days ago I had absolutely no voice, so I'm trying to keep that from happening again right now because it feels like it wants to go away again. So yeah, so yes, I'm so glad you guys are here. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Ashley J. I am a coach, relationship and date coach, and also a therapist. And this is my show that I created no, it was this year. It was my show that I created this year called the Love Experience Show because I have um I guess an interest and a burning desire to help people in their relationships. And yeah, so that's why we have this show, and we get to hear lots of great experiences and people talking about love from their perspectives. That's what this show is about. All right? And also, if you would like to be part of the Love Experience Show, go ahead, drop a comment, DM me, whatever you need to do to get in touch with me, and I will gladly get you on the show, book you out right now. I am in the progress of trying to book up the month of July, August, up until September. So I need everybody that I can think of, everybody who is listening. I need you guys to all come on to the Love Experience Show and tell your story. Okay. And just so you know, it does not matter if you are married, single, whatever your relationship status is. I want you to come and talk about it. Talk about relationships from your perspective. Okay. I'm so glad to see you guys again. Share, 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 share. Hey, Yansine, like and share and subscribe to this channel. Throw a watch party so we can get more people on the show or more people watching the show. Okay. What else? Make sure you go to my website. It's ashleyj.com, and you order your show merchandise because I have some love love experience merchandise. I have some It's Ashley J merchandise, and I will be creating some more designs for you guys to be able to choose from. So go ahead now and order your stuff so that you can have it maybe next week or the week after for the show. Okay. Go ahead. It's fun. It's easy too. All you gotta do is go to itsashleyj.com and order it. Okay. It's that simple. Let's see. Anything else that I need to cover? I don't think so, but I really want you guys to, let's get our count up. Let's get our viewership up so that we can, so that we can keep this this movement going. I know I took a little time off. I had to, but yes, we can do this, y'all. Okay. Well, without further ado, I do not have a guest. It is me again. This time, my guest, it doesn't matter. I don't have a guest. So yeah. So let's get it going. Okay. All right. So today we are talking about creating inner peace. And creating inner peace is so important um when you are, let's see, okay, so if you watched last week, you know that I talked about my experience with depression lately. So now is the time for me to find inner peace. And I have been finding it and I have been working on it. And I want to share some tips with you guys about finding inner peace. And you can find inner peace when you're in a relationship too. Just so you know, it happens. You can have inner peace in a relationship. I know relationships can get kind of chaotic, but you can find inner peace when you're in a relationship. Okay. So, let's see. What do you guys feel like inner peace is? I want you to be interactive too. Um, keep your questions and your comments going while we are live. But I want to know what you guys believe inner peace is. For me, inner peace is one, really strongly relying on God and being at peace, having calmness within me, and not being I'll say worry and having an anxiety filled life, stress. I can't have any of that. So inner peace for me is very important when it comes to, you know, all of this stuff. Um but I need to know what you guys believe inner peace is. Like, you know, inner peace can be peace physically, mentally, and spiritually. Or if you don't want to separate any of those three, it's all of that built into one. For me, all of that is important. So I've been working on relying on God more. I've been working on you know, checking in with me to make sure I'm doing everything that I need to maintain my peace. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So, um here are some ways that you can find your inner peace. First thing you need to do is do you. Yes, do you. You want to make sure you do you because that is going to be your me time. Doing you is going to be the time that you have to regroup, recoup, and rejuvenate yourself. So it can be anything that you would like to do, anything at all that you want to do, um, that you find helps bring a calmness to you. That is when you are doing you. Okay. And um, also, you're doing you. Um, it can be an activity, it can be meditation, it can be whatever it is. But what's important is that you don't ever lose who you are because of your circumstances. That is why I was depressed because I lost sight of who I really was. Um, because of my circumstances, because of my health, because of everything that was going on. I lost who I was because of those things. Okay. So it's important that you do not lose who you are um, because of whatever is happening around you, whatever is going on around you. Okay. Y'all let me know if this is making sense. Um, hey, Ida, you let me know that if this is making sense. Once again, you guys that are watching, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, comment, throw a watch party on Facebook so we can get more people watching. Okay. Because everybody needs to find inner peace. So go ahead and put in the comments what type of things do you like to do to find inner peace? What type of things activities do you like to do to keep you calm and centered? One thing that I'm definitely going to start doing again once I feel up to it is working out, doing yoga. When I was working out, I felt more at peace with myself, and I felt more focused. And, of course, I felt healthier. So, yoga was a big advocate for me, to help me maintain that peace and that calmness that I needed during, my chaotic days, because my days were pretty busy. They're not too busy anymore, but before all of this happened, I was busy. I was constantly doing something. So now I am trying to find a happy balance between keeping my business going and also maintaining peace within me. Okay. Another thing that you can do is just give people the benefit of the doubt. This was something that I struggled with when I was in my 20s, I guess mostly. Um, I was not very good at giving people the benefit of the doubt. I was not very good at that at all, because I lived by this motto that you show me who you are every time I'm around you. And I still believe that, but I never let there be room for someone to make a mistake and it be okay. I never let there was never room for that. Okay? Never. So, I was very hard on people. And I was quick to cut people off at the knees. Like, if you did me wrong, that's it. There was no coming back from that. So, giving people the benefit of the doubt is something that I'm just now learning how to do. Um and it's something that it took a while for me to get used to doing, because I felt like I'm just giving someone an excuse to do whatever it is that they want to do to me, and use me at their benefits. But it's not always like that, and that comes from trauma and other things. But that is why giving people the benefit of the doubt was not something that I was good at all, ever, up until, I guess, up until I got married. Because then I had no choice but to let but to give my husband the benefit of the doubt, because if I didn't, well, I probably wouldn't be married. So this is something that is a practice that I continue to work on. And it's a work in progress, but I am far, far, far better now than I was before. I can definitely tell you guys that. How are you with giving people the benefit of the doubt? Let me know. So anyway, giving people the benefit of the doubt. So I want to read these comments. So Yancine said he enjoys running, bowling, or throwing darts, or sitting in quietness. This is to my question, the answer to my question about what do you guys like to do to bring calmness and peace to yourself. And Ida said continuing to make time for R&R. R&R allows you to catch your breath and refocus. Yes, it absolutely does. It is very important to have some R&R. Um, let's see. So, okay, the next step is for you or us. Um, when problems arise, check yourself first. So, what do I mean by that? Um, I told you guys last week that while I've been going through this depression and everything, um, I was not very nice to my husband. And I accused him of some things that he may not have been doing, but I was accusing him of it because that was the place that I was in. So I accused him. I said, he would probably be happier with somebody else. And I told him, he was probably out there with somebody else, whatever, knowing good and well that he's always at home with me. But that was a cognitive distortion. Okay. So anyway, what I should have done when I started to feel have these problems arise within me, I should have caught myself first. I should have checked myself first, because a lot of times, I'm using this example to show you that a lot of times we create problems in our minds. And when we do that, most of the time it's not really an issue with the other person. So it you know that is why I'm saying we need to check ourselves first. So if I checked myself first, I wouldn't even had to say anything to him. I should have asked myself, okay, where is this coming from? Why are you feeling this way? And should is this a valid thought? Yes or no? Like, that is how you check yourself. Find out what the underlying issue is that is making you believe that something is happening that may not really be happening. Y'all get me? Am I making sense, or am I just blabbing? Let me know. But that is something that you have to do when any situation with anybody arises. You have to stop and check yourself before you say anything else to anybody about this issue. That's what you have to do. That it's so important that we do that. Because then, say for me, being depressed, all I was doing was creating more issues and compounding more issues where there weren't any. The issues were with me, and I was, well, I'm gonna get to this part yet, but I was creating something that was not there. Um, and as I said, that's basically what a cognitive distortion is. You're believing something that is really not there. Okay. And I that is the example that I wanted to use for this. So anytime you're in a bad place, you you tend to see everything else in a negative light. Okay. And here's another example of that. It could be something like you are let's say you're going to the grocery store and you're trying to find some fresh vegetables, but in your eyes and in your mind, seeing the vegetables, they don't look like something that you want to buy. But you see other people looking at the same vegetables that you're looking at, and they're like, they're buying them. They think they look really great, they feel great to them, but for you it is not that great. They look terrible. um that's because you're looking at them in the wrong way. Let's take it to a different approach. You're at the grocery store, and let's say two people are in front of you in line to get checked out. And because of where you are mentally, and because you're not at peace, the people in front of you, like, it's those two people may seem like 20 people with only one line open at the grocery store. And you're getting irritated, you're getting frustrated, and you are, almost ready to beat somebody up because you're not at peace. And because you're not at peace, everything else is just ruined for you. Does that make sense to y'all? I don't know. That's just kind of, the way things happen. At least for me. If it doesn't happen for you, then you can go ahead and let me know. But at least for me, that's how things happen when I am in a particularly negative space. Things just, somebody can say, "Hey, good morning," and you bark at them. Like that's just where you are. Well, let me me, because I don't know, y'all may not go through these issues, but that's what it's like when you are coming from a negative place. Is this making sense to you? Please let me know. Also continue to comment and share and everything, and throw a watch party on Facebook. So the next thing is, don't make your issues someone else's issues. So basically, do not project what you got going on somebody else. Okay. um Projecting is basically, you're trying to, okay, so say you're in an argument, and in that argument you're arguing about the floor needing to be swept clean, and your significant other, or whoever you're arguing with about the floor, um they're like, it's not that bad, and I think you have some type of issue. Well, I don't have an issue. You're the one with the issue because you don't want to clean the floor for me. But you are having an issue because you're unhappy with the way maybe the kitchen looks, or you're unhappy with the way the living room looks, and you are trying to make that person unhappy with you. But you can't do that, because this is your problem. This is your issue that you have to work on, that you have to fix. Okay. So do not project your problems on somebody else. You have to deal with it. Deal with whatever that problem is for you. Deal with it. Okay. You have to you gotta come to people correct. Like, you can't just try to make your problems somebody else's problems. It doesn't work that way. And if you're doing that in a relationship, you're going to run that person off. You are going to make them shut down from you and make them emotionally unavailable for you, because all you want to do is put your issues on them. Now, yes, in a relationship, it's a partnership, all of that great stuff. But that does not mean that they have to take on your issues. That does not mean that they have to take on your problems. Yes, you can vent to them, you can discuss with them what the problem is, but do not expect them to make it their problem as well, because you're going to run them ragged if you do that. And you're going to even run them off. And like I said, cause them to be emotionally unavailable to you. And that is the worst thing that can happen, especially in a relationship. You need to feel those emotions, and you need that person to be there for you when you need to be vulnerable. Well, they're not going to do that if they're not able to be um emotionally available for you, because every time they try to let you be vulnerable, you get mad at them because they're not taking on your problems. Can't do that. It does. Relationships don't work that way. um Let me know. Let me know. Y'all tell me. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Y'all let me know what you think about that. Do you think that um what do you think about people that try to project their issues on their significant other? Sorry. I didn't mean to make that sound. Sorry. um but yes, do not project, okay? Who's I want to stop for a second. I need to know who is watching on YouTube. Can y'all say hi? I want to know who I'm talking to. Say hey to me on YouTube. Okay. So anyway, every problem doesn't deserve to go to battle. So, what does that mean? Every problem does not need to be an issue. So, or every issue doesn't need to go to battle. So, what do I mean by that? Pick and choose your battles. Okay. Like the example that I gave about the floor, that is not something that needs to be going into battle about. Like, just clean the floor yourself. You can express yourself and say, hey, I wish you would chip in a little more, but you don't need to go any further than that because it's something that is so small. Go into battle over something that needs to be battled over. Okay. Go into battle for, I don't know, somebody is not uh doing, I don't know, go into the battle about financial things. Go into battle about fighting for your relationship, but don't go into battle because somebody dropped a crumb on the floor and it's an issue for you and you're angry about that. That's nothing. Don't even waste your energy on being mad about that. Okay, fix it yourself. Okay, that's what you can do. Fix it yourself. Anything that you can handle on your own without making a big deal about it does not need to be something that you're in battle over. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? Um so yes, you need to think before you start to react. Think about what it is that's bothering you. Think about it. And think about the magnitude of what that problem is. And think about whether you it's something that you need to fight over. If it's not, let it go. Let it go. You got to let it go because you're causing disruption within yourself when you're trying to create peace. Right? You're causing a disruption that does not need to happen. You do not need to have that disruption. So go ahead and figure out in your mind before you react to the situation, do I need to act this way about this? Yes, no, or maybe. If it's maybe, think about it a little more so you get a more definitive answer. Let me see. Let me think of an example for that. There could be okay, here's something that I feel like really shouldn't be a battle with anybody about. Um, Say somebody wants to use your car, okay, and they use your car, but they don't put gas in the car after that when they return it. Okay, so is that something that you need to go into battle about, or is it just something where you can handle it yourself? Go get the gas, but then tell them, no, you can't use my car until you start filling the tank back up after you're done using it. You see what I mean? Like it's something that's small. It's a small thing that you don't have to waste your energy on. Okay. Um Now I know I now if this person gets into an accident or something with with your car, then that's you need to go into battle over that. But if it's their fault. But if it's not like that, then guess what? Don't go into battle over it. It's not worth it. Okay. All right. So next, you want to lower the guard instead of raising it. Lower your guard instead of raising it. So what that means is don't be on guard with the person that you're in a relationship with. Now, there are instances where people feel like they have to be on guard. And but and when that happens, then you probably need to go to seek a counselor. First of all, seek some therapy. But if if you can't let your guard down with that person, then you may not need to be with that person anyway. But if it's somebody that you have already said yes to, committed to, walked down the aisle with, all of that good stuff, then you have to try to be vulnerable with them. Okay? You have to be vulnerable with them, because if you continue to hold your guard up, then there is not a chance for intimacy to happen. And intimacy is something that is important for your relationship. And I know you guys have heard me say multiple times, talk about it, intimacy multiple times. So you want to lower your guard. Okay, lower your guard, and instead of raising it. Also, show compassion and be clear about your problem. So if there is an issue that needs to be discussed, discuss it the way you would want that other person to discuss it with you. So be compassionate. Show compassion to this person. Um, you do not want to be, you want to, it's so hard sometimes, but you don't want to be um a certain way, maybe really aggressive towards them when you want to discuss your problem. And make sure before you talk about the problem, make sure you are clear about what the problem is. Make sure you're clear about what the problem is, because when you're clear about what the problem is, then they are able to understand the problem a little bit better, and the two of you can come to a resolution. Okay, does that make sense to y'all? So be clear about it. Like if let's say you it's something where you allow things to build up. Well, take your time and pick the one that needs to be discussed first, and then go down the list. Okay? This does not have to be it doesn't have to be a conversation that you have all in one sitting. It could be split up, but you want to take your time and discuss what the problem is, and be clear about it. Know what you're talking about. Know what your issue is, because then they are able to handle it with you. Okay. um be okay with being vulnerable also. All right. You have to be, that's part of being compassionate. Be okay with being vulnerable. You have to show some level of vulnerability when you are trying to when you're trying to handle a situation, and you're maybe pouring your heart out about whatever the situation is. You have to be vulnerable and they to be able to do that. Okay. So show vulnerability. You guys got me? Now, being vulnerable, that means that you are not always going to be the strong person. You can't always be the strong person. You can't always be that person that um never shows their emotions or never gets emotional. It is okay to be emotional. I was about to say emotionable. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to drop your sword every once in a while. Um it's okay, there's a situation that I know where the husband said to the wife, "Listen, I want to be able to I don't want to be strong all the time when I'm with you." And that spoke volumes to me, because that meant he doesn't feel like he's able to, one, be vulnerable with his wife, two, have intimacy with his wife, and three, release the problems that are weighing him down. That that sentence said a whole lot. And I don't know if she got it or not, but that sentence spoke a whole lot. He doesn't want to always be strong. He wants to be able to be weak every once in a while. He's not saying that he wants to be weak every single day, but he wants to be able to be weak every once in a while when it comes to the relationship. So I'm about to take this somewhere else. I'm not going to do that. So you want to be able to just be able to drop the load. Take the load from that person every once in a while. Let them feel the comfort of being able to share their feelings, um, being able to talk about anything. Let them clear their mind. If they need to cry, let them cry. If they need a hug, hug them. But you have to be able to let them be weak. And I'm when I say weak, I'm not saying weak as in I don't know, not anything disrespectful, but just be able to just sit back and take a breath. I'll say it that way. Sit back and take the breath, because a lot of times when we are the strong person in any relationship, we take on the issues that we have, the issues that our significant other has, our best friend has, the issues of the world. And then along with those issues comes anxiety and stress. And all of that is not a good combination. We need to be able to decompress every once in a while when we're in the best person to decompress with is your significant other. So you can't go out and fight the world and come home and have to fight the inner world. Does that make sense? You have to be able to slow down, decompress, and um, be okay. All right. Um, Control the emotions before taking action. You want to control your emotions before taking action, because a lot of times when we react to something, especially when we're not in a very good space, when we react to something, it can be the wrong reaction. So pause before you react, listen to what is being said, and figure out if it needs that emotion that's rising up within you. Okay. Or if it doesn't need an emotion at all. But you want to control your emotions, because if we just walk around letting our emotions just run wild without thinking first, it would be crazy. And you see it all the time. You see it all the time. Like, you'll hear about somebody getting killed because of a parking spot. That is somebody not controlling their emotions. Okay. You want to control your emotions, but I'm not saying to ignore your emotions. When I say control your emotions, you want to um, still express them, but don't hold on to them, because then that compiles into something else. Okay. So do not stuff your emotions. Okay. Next, we're going boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. You cannot operate in life without giving boundaries. Okay. Um, Operating without your boundaries is going to leave you in a bad place. And what are we trying to do? We are trying to create inner peace. So, to have inner peace and maintain inner peace, everything and everybody, even yourself, needs to operate with some boundaries. Okay. Um, those boundaries for you, just you being, I'm tongue tied, sorry, just you, um, having your boundaries could be all right. Every 2 hours, I'm going to pause and take a break. I'm going to pause and I'm going to go outside. I'm going to stop working or whatever it is that you're doing and take some time for you. That is a boundary that you're going to have and stick with, because if you don't, you're going to be overwhelmed. Boundaries for other people can be um, you know, okay, with the car situation, that person cannot use your car unless they put gas in the car after they're done with it. So create boundaries. Always operate with boundaries. I know, and sometimes we get comfortable and we don't set boundaries, but when I tell you that you don't set boundaries, you are leaving yourself open to a lot of things that can mess you up in the long run. And people, I tell my clients this: when you want to start setting boundaries for someone, they're going to fight you for over it in the beginning. Let them fight. Stand your ground and stick with the boundaries that you create because it's helping you in the long run. Okay. Next, you want to approve of yourself. You don't need to look for anyone else to approve of you. You approve of yourself. Okay. And once you can approve of yourself, then you are able to hang out with other people. You are able to calm down. Okay. You're able to be socially fluid. And when I say fluid, I mean you're able to go and socialize. Okay. Not saying nothing else. Okay. But you don't need to have anybody's approval. And if this journey of creating inner peace takes you down a road where you have to learn how to approve of yourself, then that's what you're going to have to do, because your approval is way more important than anybody else's approval. Um, so always, approve you. Okay. Also be responsible. Being responsible means that you own up to the stuff that you do. Okay. Um, I don't know if you ever seen people who always put the blame on everybody else. Something happens to them and it's always somebody else's fault, but it's really their fault. They're not owning up to it and they're not happy with themselves, okay? They're not happy. They're trying to get attention and anything else that you could think of. They're not happy. So you want to own up for what you did. You want to apologize if you offended someone. Um, and just own it. Just own it. There's times where you have to say, you know what, you're right. I messed that up. You're absolutely right. I take full responsibility for that. I apologize. You're gonna have to eat humble pie. And it's okay because everybody has to do it at some point in their life. So if you have done something that was not acceptable or something that offended someone, own it. Own it. Okay. Also the last thing is the issues do not create you. We all face some type of issue, but here's the thing about these issues. Um, I'm a big advocate for taking them and turning them into something that can be beneficial for others. But what I have learned is that I cannot let my issues define who I am. Back when I was younger, if I don't know, if I had a problem with somebody, that became my issue. That meant that that problem that I had with that person is because I didn't know how to talk to somebody, or how can I say this? I'm not saying it right. Um I just had a great example and I forgot it. So do not let the issues define you. There are always going to be times where um we face something that can be difficult, but what defines you is your solution to that issue. But the problem itself does not define you. It does not mean that, okay, because you have, y'all forgive me for the way I'm about to say this, but I can't think of another way to say it. Um, because let's say you have 5 kids by five different men. Well, that doesn't define who you are. That just means, you've made some decisions, but your solution to that issue, maybe now you realize this is not cool, so I'm going to um chill out. I'm not going to, have any more kids with anybody unless I'm married to them or whatever the case may be. But that that does not cause for you to isolate yourself and feel bad about who you are. You don't need to feel bad about that. You can change those circumstances. You don't have to live by those mistakes. Yes, you've done that. You've made that decision 5 times before, but you don't have to continue to make that decision. You don't have to continue to let somebody treat you bad because they feel like they can, because they feel like you're a hoe. That is allowing the problem and somebody else define who you are. And you don't need to do that. The problem is what it is. It's a problem, but your solution to that problem is what counts. I hope that made sense and that I didn't make y'all upset by saying that, because the way I had it in my head, it went completely different and it was going to come out real wrong. Um, so yeah, that is how you create inner peace. But that is my list of creating inner peace. What did you guys think about this list? What did you guys think of this list? I want to know. Tell me, tell me, tell me. And I will say again, if you would like to be part of the Love Experience show, if you don't feel like I'm doing a good job trying to hold it down on my own, then hit me up and we can get something together where you are a guest on the show. Okay. Um, but yeah, I'm ready to take your questions and your comments. Let's see. Linda said you can't let it go completely without resolving the issue within you. No, you can't. You have to resolve these issues. Basically, the whole point of creating inner peace is you have to resolve the issues that are causing you to have chaos within you. Okay, so that is what the work of creating inner peace is about. Finding, working on you. She said sound advice, amen, truth. Chrissy said yes. Thank you guys. You guys on Facebook, I don't know what all your comments are because Facebook kind of cut them off a little bit, so I'm gonna read the ones that I see. Ida said often we don't realize we are doing that. I think you're talking about projecting, right, on Ida. Hey Miss Alfreda, hey Uncle Mark, love you too. um Yancine said it's not cool to project, but it does happen, and when it does, it needs to be corrected as soon as it happens. They may not know they're doing it. That's true. They may not know that they're doing it. That's absolutely true. Uncle Mark said James 1:19, you must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because sometimes when we get angry about something, um, because of something that somebody said, it's not directed towards us. And when you react, you're doing more damage than you are doing good, honestly. You're welcome, Miss Alfreda. And I guess I just saying yes, I did. That was good. Okay. So, like I said, guys, if you are watching and you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to the Love Experience Show channel. And again, share. I can't stress that enough. Share, please. with people you know. And also, one more time, if you want to be on the show, you want to be part of the love experience, then hey, come on. I'm welcoming everybody. I want singles, um, regardless of if you ever been married or not. If you are divorced or you were a widow or widower, whatever. I want to hear your stories. I really want to get more single people in on the show this season. So I'm really working hard to get that together. Also, even if you're a couple, I want to get more couples on the show. So everybody, pass the word along. If you feel like, even if you don't want to be on the show, but you know somebody else that would be great on the show, let me know and I can reach out to them. Give me their information. I'll reach out to them. Okay. So if you guys don't have anything else for me, then I think I could let y'all go a couple minutes early, like you're in class in school. um, but I appreciate you guys for hopping on with me today, and yeah, enjoy your day. And I have one last thing to say. Well, I got a couple things to say. As I said in the beginning, go to itsashleyj.com and order your merchandise. You got hoodies, shirts, bags, mugs. Order your merchandise. It's either It's Ashley J's merchandise or the All In for Love, not All In for Love. I'm sorry, or the Love Experience Show merchandise. Okay. All right, y'all. I only got one thing left to say to you, and that is, what is your love experience? I'll talk with you guys later. I will see you next week and have a great day.